So I had filed for the review of my PIL, which was wrongly dismissed by the two Supreme Court judges without even giving my lawyers the proper opportunity to even complete their presentation about all the aspects of the PIL. So it turns out that the Supreme Court registry, we know that it tries to avoid important matters being listed in time, especially like for example the Manipur arms loot matter. The registry has not listed it. Obviously the CJI and the registry work hand in glove against the interest of the country. They tried to do the same thing regarding my review application. Blatantly these government public officers lied that number one, a review cannot be listed in vacation. Number two, more importantly, they lied that a review can only be heard by the same judges who dismissed or passed a particular order. Third, they said that the review can only be heard in circulation. Now, all three things are absolutely false, blatant lies by these public officers working for the people of India at the Constitutional Institute, Supreme Court of India, and blatantly lying about such matters which are written in black and white in the Supreme Court rules itself. So what I have done now is that it took me some time. They wasted a lot of time, nearly week or 10 days, whilst my matter should have gotten listed and heard last week. But so far they haven't heard it. They tried to give every excuse. There is a Supreme Court norm, practice, etc., etc. But a practice cannot be against the rules of the court. So for everyone and anyone who wants to file a review application for a matter which has been dismissed or certain order has been passed which you want to challenge, please learn. A review application can be heard by a bench or judge other than the one who passed the order which you are challenging. Number two, a review application can be heard without circulation. The rule is there, and in my case we had also moved the application for it to be heard in open court. Third, there is no rule which bars a review petition from being heard in vacations. There is no such rule. Rule is that any matter, any single matter which is of public importance or which has grave significance to human rights violations can be heard. Besides that, if any matter the registrar feels, and this is not just I feel, if a registrar feels that a matter needs to be listed even in vacation, even if it doesn't fall under the 14 categories which they show are the categories for vacation listing, the registrar can list it. And the registrar should also know that the registrar cannot act arbitrarily. If the matter is important, the rules give the registrar the power to list the matter. It is not that they can just completely say, oh, these are the 14 categories. The rules provide for the registrar, the rules provide for the CJI, the rules provide for other judges to be approached and get directions for any matter to be listed at any time. So this is a very, very big learning from this entire debacle, how they have intentionally postponed this matter and not listed it so far. I have not only filed a complaint with the Secretary General of the Supreme Court of India against the vacation officer of Supreme Court, mentioning officer and mentioning branch of Supreme Court, registrar, two registrars, Puneet Sehgal and Pavneesh Dukkal. I have also filed the complaint against the Chief Justice of India. These people are acting against public interest and they should be taken to task. So I have also filed a police complaint, and if the police immediately doesn't register an FIR, the complaint has already been registered, but if the police fails to lodge and register the FIR, this matter will go to whichever court it has to, and all of these people will be brought to book. But for today, please learn the facts that I've told you. Even most lawyers, my own lawyers, and every lawyer which I spoke to, senior lawyers, they weren't aware of this. It took me some digging in, some conversation, a lot of visits to the Supreme Court, conversations with concerned people, and it actually took me to dig into those very rule books which they were quoting that do not allow this to happen. So please, whenever you are doing anything, do your research well. That's the biggest learning. And I will have this review petition listed because it affects entire country's privacy. 65 crore people's privacy is affected by this particular matter. Our election commission is unbothered, and they completed an election procedure despite being aware that there is peril to 65 crore voters' secrecy and privacy, and this can eventually turn into a human rights catastrophe because of vendettas which this present group of people who are in power can use agencies against them. And again, they are bringing from the 1st of July these new criminal laws which are criminal in themselves, but they can use that against people who are standing for what is right, what is just, and for the rule of law in this country. So we need to act fast and make sure all of these people, from the Prime Minister to the Home Minister to the Chief Justice of India, Chief Injustice of India, I call him, all of them need to be booked and be arrested and be put behind bars.